Hi, Angeline. Thank you for coming in today. So, what would you like to focus on in our session today?
Well, I'm really stressed at work. I have a couple of coworkers that are not pulling their weight, and I've tried to talk to several supervisors about it, and they're not offering any solutions. As a matter of fact, they're kind of taking up for them.
Yeah, that sounds very stressful. Can you think of a time when this wasn't a problem in the department? How long ago that was, and what it kind of looked like back then?
Um, Probably when we had more direction on what our roles were at work. Maybe we had like a list of what our um, jobs were for the day or for the week, and we've kind of gotten away from that. And it seems like some people pick up the slack more than others.
Mm-hmm.
And
So, if we were to meet in a few weeks and things were a little bit better at work with your coworkers and your boss, what would that kind of look like?
more direction given um, to all the employees, me included. Um, just like lunch times lined out. Just some direction and some structure to the day.
Okay. Has there been anything in the past that has made you feel like a little bit of progress has been made?
Um, yeah, when actually my supervisor was on vacation and another person took on that role, it seemed to be a little bit better.
So when someone else was in charge,
Hmm.
that kind of led more how you enjoyed being.
Yes.
So what did you do? What do you do during this time to cope when it is very stressful in the department?
I try to just focus on one task at a time and not really look at the big picture because that can be overwhelming sometimes. And just try to do what I'm doing at that time because I can't do more than one thing at a time. So I really just try to take in that moment and do what's in front of me at that time.
Okay, that sounds like a very good idea, and it seems to have been proven successful. Um, when you've faced these similar challenges, has there been anything else that helped you get through them?
I do have a supervisor above my direct supervisor who I've talked to, and I know she said she would have a conversation with her regarding this issue. Um, and so I don't know if she's actually done that yet or not, but I felt like she was listening to me.
So you've been able to talk your feelings through with your supervisor
Hmm.
and kind of make your feelings known.
Yes.
So, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being absolutely the worst, um, and 1 being okay right now at this current moment, where do you currently rate yourself with this problem? Like, how much is it affecting you?
Probably a five. I think different days it can be different levels, but I'd say on the average maybe a five.
Okay. Um, what would it take to move it lower to even just a 4, just 1 point?
I think my direct supervisor perhaps having a conversation with these other employees that would impact their work ethic a little bit and having them pick up a little bit more. And I think she tries to be their friend a little more than she does their supervisor. So if she could take that supervisor role on, and I think that would be effective.
Okay. So let's pretend for a second that we can perform miracles and that you woke up in the morning and you went to work and this problem that you were facing was gone. What changes would you notice? So, first, how would you feel?
I would feel maybe more appreciated and valued, and that my work was being noticed and that other people were contributing and more of a group effort, team effort, which I think
Okay.
is beneficial to everybody.
What would you notice about from coming from your bosses? How would that translate to your feelings and
Maybe not so much being a friend to employees,
hmm
but more of a supervisor and a little more direction. Not in a mean way, but okay, so and so, you're going to do this today. You're going to do this today. This is when you're going to go to lunch. This is, you know, these are the rules we need to follow, and we're all going to follow them so we can um, work well together.
okay, so let's identify some tangible small goals that we can do that just within the few weeks that we can do to make it better. Um, so, what would be your first step of finding maybe a solution for um, one of those issues?
Talking to my direct supervisor and telling her how I feel and why I feel the way I do.
Okay, is there anything else that you could possibly do to ease some of that stress that you haven't thought of yet?
Perhaps maybe not trying to take everything on myself, um, knowing that there are other people there and that the duties do need to be divided, and that's not all my responsibility.
Hmm, okay, I like that because that's something that you can control
Mm-hmm.
and it's not relying on other people. Last question in this. Um, is there another thing that you can control because you don't have to rely on other people for this, you know,
I think
to ease this
attitude,
problem?
maybe going in with a positive attitude. Sometimes when you are in a situation like that, you tend to, or I tend to gravitate to more of a negative attitude. But if I went in with a positive attitude and knowing that I'm the only one that control that myself,
hmm
that might make for a better day.
Um, is there anything else regarding this issue that you'd like to discuss
Um, I think
that bothers you?
just the fact that, you know, at this stage in my life that it almost feels like high school still. There's still cliques and there's still, you know, that kind of popularity type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is bothersome. Um,
Yes,
but
yeah.
again, I guess the only thing I can control is my reaction to what is going on.
I like that you found that solution that is something that you can control that doesn't rely on other people. That's very well said. Well, I think that we made a lot of progress in this session. And I really want you to use what we've talked about and a little bit of homework. It's not really homework, but try and find some manageable steps that we've identified, um, starting off with what you can control that will help decrease the disruptiveness of it in your day. And then those other steps that you mentioned that had to do with talking to other people in your organization that you outlined, I think those are great first steps. Well, thank you
I
for
think I
meeting
can
with
do
me.
that. Thank you for meeting with me, and you're very helpful.
No problem.